The Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association and the Florida Department of Agriculture present Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson. Also presented by Adena Springs South, Daily Racing Form, Double Diamond Farm, Jerry Parks Insurance Group, Ocala Breeders Sales Company, Valerie Daly of Showcase Properties, and Woodford Thoroughbreds.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Thoroughbred Week, featuring a rising female turf star in the West in the Grade 1 American Oaks and a blanket finish among turf 3-year-olds in the Grade 3 Penn Mile. We begin with turf sprinters at Penn National in the Pennsylvania Governor's Cup. Ben's Cat, the 6-5 favorite. John Bogar picks up the call.
They race to the turn. First quarter up here in 21-4, and Bold Thunder is clear by 2 midway on the turn. Amelia's Wild Ride chases. Snow Leopard next to the outside. Now Ben's Cat in cruising mode. He's getting within 3.5 lengths. Then inside it's Grateful Nation, followed then by Fabulous Kid, Last Heartbreaker. They straighten for the drive. Bold Thunder leads. Amelia's Wild Ride is next to the outside. Ben's Cat has 3 to make up. Bold Thunder digging in. Here's Amelia's Wild Ride. Final 16th. Ben's Cat starting to kick it in. Bold Thunder, Amelia's Wild Ride, Ben's Cat, they all hit it together.
And here's another look at that photo finish. It's pace setter Bold Thunder and Kendrick Carmouche along the rail. But the battle is between Amelia's Wild Ride and Jose Lescano, between horses, and fast-closing Ben's Cat and Julian Pimentel. And Amelia's Wild Ride holds off the favorite by a nose. Bold Thunder a neck back in the show spot. Florida-bred Amelia's Wild Ride sprints 5 furlongs in 55-1. Winner of the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint in his seasonal debut, Amelia's Wild Ride finished 3rd when Ben's Cat won the Jim McKay Turf Sprint on the Preakness undercard at Pimlico. Trained by Ramon Preciado, Amelia's Wild Ride has earned nearly $320,000 for Silver Trail Stables. The 4-year-old colt by the Wildcat was bred in Florida by Red Oak Stable. Florida breds, race 'em or chase 'em. To Woodbine for turf sprinters and the Grade 2 Connaught Cup. Last year's winner, X Caper, the 3-1 favorite. Here's the final graded stakes call by retired Woodbine announcer Dan Loisel.
River 7 and X Caper. They're nose and nose in the run to the 3/8 pull. A break of 2.5 lengths to Phil's Dream in 3rd. Eminent Force is 4th. Conquest, Top Gun, Angles to the outside, then Lockout and Dimension, 47 1/5 of a second for the opening half mile, and they turn for home. And it's X Caper. X Caper's pulled away from River 7, but we'll have Phil's Dream to deal with 3/16 to go, and X Caper's hanging a bit. Here comes Phil's Dream down to the inside. River 7's resurgent. Lockout has come from last. For them, noses apart, last 16th of a mile. Lockout, Phil's Dream, River 7. Lockout from last to first for Boulanger to win the Connaught Cup.
Lockout rallies from the back of the field to defeat Phil's Dream by a length. Gary Boulanger up in 1:22-3. A stakes winner at Remington Park at 3, Lockout was making his first start off a 6-month layoff. A close second in the Grade 2 Play the King Stakes last summer, the Mark Cassie trainee records his first graded stakes victory. The 6-year-old horse by Limehouse was bred in Kentucky by Columbiana Farm and was a $37,000 yearling. Lockout has earned $520,000 for John C. Oxley. Gary Boulanger with the Safe Ride of the Week, presented by Sally Horse Fans, the safest way to the winner's circle. To Churchill Downs for the Grade 3 Aristide Stakes. Champion Work All Week, the 3-5 favorite, in his first start since taking the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Travis Stone has the call.
Alsvid is moving up to be 4th on the outside. Gentleman's Bet is looming up from 5th. Nate's Mineshaft is 6th, right in behind the second flight. Viva Mallorca still trails, so they come outside the quarter pole. Work All Week has taken the lead and is angled over to the rail, but here comes Alsvid on the outside to challenge. And Alsvid's in front off the turn. Work All Week digs down second toward the inside. 4 lengths back to Gentleman's Bet, far outside Nate's Mineshaft. Viva Mallorca putting in a late bid down to the final 16th, and Alsvid has pulled clear. Alsvid opening up on Work All Week in the stretch, and it will be Alsvid, the upset winner by 2.5.
Alsvid, the winner officially by 2 lengths over Work All Week. Chris Lenderos aboard the OBS Sales Graduate in 109-1. That's 3 consecutive victories for Alsvid, who won his last 2 at Oaklawn Park, including the Grade 3 Count Fleet Sprint Handicap. The 6-year-old gelding by Officer was bred in Kentucky by Yanagawa Stud and was a $55,000 OBS April 2-year-old. The first graded stakes winner at Churchill Downs for trainer Chris Hartman, Alsvid has earned $994,000 for Black Hawk Stable. DRF Breeding, home with a new sire-powered results tool. Access race results from North America. Visit drf.com/breeding for additional information. Watch Thoroughbred Week replays online at tbredweek.com.
By Horse of the Year and Champion Sire.
AT&D surges to victory in the Belmont Stakes.
Out of multiple Grade 1 winner and Broodmare of the Year.
Take Charge Lady to win the Ashland by 5.
The hottest dirt pedigree in the world today.
But Take Charge Indy wins the Florida Derby.
Take Charge Indy, a throwback to a classic dirt pedigree. Standing at Windstar Farm.
In the business of breeding horses, timing is everything. Making ovulation more predictable, Sucromate Equine takes the guesswork out of scheduling breedings. Sucromate is the only FDA-approved deslorelin product indicated for inducing ovulation within 48 hours of treatment. Sucromate is safe, reliable, and results from a large field-based study show Sucromate provides a higher ovulation rate than any other product. Streamline your breeding season with Sucromate Equine.
Since 1894, Daily Racing Form has told the story of thoroughbred racing. 120 years later, Daily Racing Form continues to tell the story and now bridges the worlds of racing and breeding. Presenting the new DRF Sire-powered results tool. Access race results by sire, name of horse, track, date, age, type of race, distance, and surface. Available only at DRF Breeding.
Sunny Florida produces champions from start to finish. Florida produced Breeders' Cup Classic winner Mucho Macho Man. Florida is one of the premier breeding regions and training centers in the world. We are a leading prep center for Derby winners and contenders. We boast of premier veterinary research centers and 3 major racetracks. Florida has the largest 2-year-old in training sale in the world, selling horses 6 times annually. Florida is proudly represented by the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association. Sunny Florida produces champions from start to finish.
Combining the legacy of Kentucky with the fertile breeding ground of Florida, Woodford Thoroughbreds proudly introduces in 2014 Warfront's best son to stand at stud, multiple graded stakes winner, Sold Out, and juvenile Grade 1 winner of the Hopeful Stakes, Currency Swap. Woodford Thoroughbreds, where a new generation of horse racing excellence has begun.
A Florida bred. He is not just a racehorse. He is our heart. He is our toil and sweat. He soaks up the bright sunshine, becoming mighty and strong. He feasts on our abundant grass and drinks our mineral-rich water. He is a way of life, our champion. His excellence brings us chills as he competes, inspiring us to greatness. He is our purpose, our soul. He is a Florida bred.
Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the Grade 2 California Stakes just ahead in the segment. But first, to Penn National for the Mountain View Handicap. Golden Lab, the 9-5 favorite. John Bogar has the call.
Very Lucky has it ahead. Inside now, Golden Lad is challenging. About 3 lengths then to Albano. To the outside, it's cousin Steven. Farhan has moved closer along the rail. East Hall is next, followed then by Edge of Reality. Then comes No Walking. Kid Cruz trying to rev it up from the far outside, followed by Golden Glint and Street Babe. As they race to the top of the stretch, Golden Lad has made the lead a half length. Very Lucky running a huge one is still second. To the outside, Albano looks to come on from third. Far outside, Kid Cruz is within about 7 as they come to the 8th pole. But Golden Lad opens up impressively here in deep stretch, has it by 6. Kid Cruz, who was last, has cleared the rest now. He'll be second. No Walking moves through, but it will be Golden Lad and Javier Castellano to win the Mountain View Handicap.
Golden Lad takes it by 5 lengths over late closing Kid Cruz. Javier Castellano up in 149 and 4. A two-time stakes winner at Oaklawn Park, including the Grade 3 Razorback Handicap last season, the Todd Pletcher trainee was coming off a fourth-place finish in the Grade 2 Oaklawn Handicap. The 5-year-old horse by Medalla d'Oro was bred in Kentucky by his owner, Robsham Stables. Golden Lad has earned $466,000. Darby Dan Farm Stallion Jerseytown, the fastest Grade 1 winning Mitered stud by leading sire Speightstown. Jerseytown is also Speightstown's best bred sonnet stud, hailing from 3-time Grade 1 winner Jersey Girl. Look for Jerseytown's much anticipated first crop of yearlings at the upcoming sales. To Santa Anita for the Grade 2 Californian Stakes, Moreno, the 6-5 favorite. Trevor Denman picks up the call.
On to the backstretch they go, and Big Casanova still leading it. Marino now moves up right alongside. Those two head to the 5/8 together. Blue Tone races on the inside of Catch a Flight. Only 2.5 separates 4. A gap of 4 back to Bailout Bobby. Hard Aces on the far side. Ladara still second last. Sammy Mandeville trailing 10 off the lead. Less than a half mile to go now, and Big Casanova still goes on with it. Marino right there in second though. 2 back to Catch a Flight. Blue Tone along the inside. Now a big gap of 5 back to Hard Aces. Bailout Bobby. Sammy Mandeville trying to get going from last. A quarter of a mile to go, and Marino now strikes the front, but Take a Flight immediately tackles. And it's Take a Flight on the outside now, and Marino. Blue Tone trying to get involved third. Sammy Mandeville running on from behind. Homeward bound, Catch a Flight on the outside. Marino in the white blinkers. They are stride for home. Late run from Hard Aces, but it is Catch a Flight the leader. Catch a Flight outrunning Marino as they come down to the wire, and Catch a Flight will win it. Catch a Flight and Gary Stevens have won the Californian.
Catch a Flight by Ashford Stud Stallion Giants Causeway defeats Moreno by half a length. Gary Stevens up in 147-3, a 106 buyer speed figure. Group 1 placed in Brazil, Catch a Flight has won 3 of 5 U.S. starts for trainer Richard Mandela, including the Grade 3 Precisionist Stakes in his latest. The Argentine-bred 5-year-old horse is owned by Aras Santa Maria de Araras. Catch a Flight has earned $393,000. Spendthrift Farm, the breeder's farm, home of the Share the Upside and Breed Secure programs. Spendthrift would like to sincerely thank all breeders who helped make the 2015 breeding season the best yet. Best of luck during the sale season ahead.
Jimmy Creed, distorted humor's most brilliant son at stud. Faster than distorted humor's Keeneland Stakes record. Out of Grade 1 winner and multiple Grade 1 producer, hooked on the feeling.
And Jimmy Creed in a scintillating performance today.
Booked full in 2014, Breed Secure in 2015. Spendthrift, the breeder's farm.
There's a new day dawning in Florida. Never before has a Breeders' Cup Classic winner retired to stud in the Sunshine State. Until now. Adena Springs presents 3-time Grade 1 winner and earner of over $4 million, Fort Larned. New to Adena Springs South.
OBS, the 2-year-old source. 17 OBS sales graduates and counting have won graded stakes in 2015, including Grade 1 winners Carpe Diem and Jack Milton. Don't miss the next opportunity to purchase a quality 2-year-old at the OBS June sale. The sale that produced 2-time Breeders' Cup Mile winner Golden Sense and Florida Horse of the Year Wildcat Red. Over 1,100 2-year-olds and horses of racing age will be offered. OBS, we measure success by performance.
People want to know what's so special about Ocala. Centrally located between Orlando and Jacksonville, Ocala's equine industry has many incentives to breed, raise, and train thoroughbreds. Discover Ocala. Reach out to showcase properties, and we'll show you why we love where we live.
Since Florida's first Kentucky Derby winner, Needles, in 1956, Florida has produced 50 national champions. the last Triple Crown winner, 13 Classic winners, 155 millionaires, memorable performances, and 26 Breeders' Cup winners. Produce your next champion in Florida.
Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the Grade 3 Pin Mile coming up in the segment. 3-year-old stakes action is presented by BC2A Paste. Reduce the likelihood of tying up with BC2A Paste. 3-year-old fillies at Penn National in the Penn Oaks. Quality Rocks, the even money favorite. Once again, here's John Bogar.
Gypsy Judy holds the lead, but now looking to challenge. Here's Quality Rocks the outside. Next in line comes Strict Compliance. Red Sachets moved up a spot and trying to wind up from the back. Now Prize Exhibit. They quicken now as they race to the top of the stretch. Gypsy Judy has it a neck. To the outside, Quality Rocks is applying pressure. Red Sachet has moved up inside. She'll need some running room. Next is Strict Compliance. They're then followed by Prize Exhibit. They come to the 16th pole, and here's Quality Rocks up to engage Gypsy Judy. Down the center, Strict Compliance coming on. Strict Compliance gonna win the Penn Oaks.
Strict Compliance by Spendthrift Farm Stallion Into Mischief runs by Quality Rocks to defeat the favorite by half a length. Javier Castellano aboard the two-time OBS Sales graduate. The Florida bred clocked in 134-4. After finishing a close second in her only start at 2, Strict Compliance is 3 for 3 this season. A maiden winner at Gulfstream Park, the Chad Brown trainee won an entry-level allowance race over the Keeneland turf. A $40,000 OBS October weanling and a $100,000 OBS June 2-year-old, Strict Compliance has earned $160,000 for Claravich Stables and William H. Lawrence. The winner was bred in Florida by Richard and Linda Thompson. Florida breds, race him or chase him. To Belmont Park for the Wonder Again Stakes. Chad Brown sent out the 1-5 favorite, undefeated Lady Eli. Larry Comas has the call.
Lady Eli still nowhere to go right now. She's hard held. She's 5 lengths off the lead, running near the back of the pack. Around the far turn, Pine Needles is the leader. On the outside, it's Heath. My Sweet Girl is next. Miss Chatelaine on the outside. And then Pangburn, Lady Eli still looking for a spot to go. Irad Ortiz Jr. is going to have to find some running room. They're in behind a wall of horses, 3 lengths off the lead with 1 furlong to run. Now she's going to come to the outside, and here comes Lady Eli. Has to come and get Pine Needles and Heath. Pine Needles, Heath. Lady Eli moves up alongside of them. Lady Eli strikes the front late, and Lady Eli does it in hand at the end by a half a length.
Odds-on favorite Lady Eli overcomes traffic problems to defeat Heath by half a length. Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard the two-time Keeneland Sales graduate in 149-4. Lady Eli is undefeated in 5 starts, including the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. The Chad Brown trainee opened her 3-year-old campaign with a sharp victory in the Grade 3 Appalachian Stakes. The filly by Divine Park was bred in Kentucky by Runnymede Farm and KHPW Clay and was a $160,000 Keeneland September yearling and a $160,000 Keeneland April 2-year-old. Lady Eli has earned nearly $915,000 for Sheep Pond Partners. Lady Eli paid $240 to win and is the Malone's favorite of the week, presented by Malone's, Lexington's favorite steakhouse. Back to Belmont Park for the Pennine Ridge Stakes. Chad Brown sent out the 4-5 entry of Startup Nation and Takeover Target. Once again, here's Larry Comas.
Around the far turn, it is Made in Detroit, still on top. Made in Detroit, joined by Takeover Target, and Devisi Darrow is now moving on the far outside. World Approval is right there in the mix, too, as they come to the top of the stretch. 3/4 in 113 flat. They're into the stretch, and it is Takeover Target and Devisi Darrow, and these two will sprint to the wire. Devisi Darrow on the outside and Takeover Target. Down toward the inside, World Approval is next. Then comes Startup Nation, and they're coming down to the finish. Takeover Target and Devisi Darrow down to the line together. Devisi Darrow did it.
Devisi Darrow gets up to defeat Takeover Target by a neck for a 1-2 finish by Keeneland Sales graduates. Rafael Hernandez, the winning jockey, in course record time of 1:48 flat. That's 3 wins and 4 starts for Devisi Darrow. The Buff Bradley trainee bounced back from a troubled third in the Grade 3 Palm Beach Stakes to take the Grade 2 American Turf Stakes on Derby Day at Churchill Downs. The colt by Kitten's Joy was bred in Kentucky by Hinkle Farms. DeVisi Darrow has earned $301,000 for Gunpowder Farms. The colt was consigned by Hinkle Farms to the 2013 Keeneland September yearling sale, where he was purchased by Margot Farm agent for $250,000. Multiple stakes winner DeVisi Darrow, the Keeneland Sales Graduate of the Week. Back to Penn National for the Grade 3 Penn Mile. California shipper Papa Cool, the 3-1 favorite. Again, here's John Bogar.
22-4 for the opening quarter. Comanche Storm inside to the outside. Gallery heads apart for the lead. Tuba races third. Ocho inside is fourth. Next in line, My Point Exactly. Length and a half then to Night Prowler looking to kick it in. Then comes Granny's Kitten with Force the Pass. High Noon Rider is next. They're then followed by Papa Cool, Woodwind W making a run the far outside. The half 46-2. And it's still Comanche Storm with Gallery. Two long shots here dictating the pace. Looking to come on now. The outside, it's Night Prowler looking for room inside. Ocho as they straighten for the drive. Here's Night Prowler, the outside up to put ahead in front. Gallery running a huge 1 second. Ocho has a seam now. The outside moving up, High Noon Rider. It's Night Prowler, a slim lead approaching the line here. Coming on now between horses. Force the Pass. These two hit it together.
Force the Pass by Windstar Farm Stallion Spikestown splits horses in the stretch to defeat Night Prowler by a head. Joel Rosario up in 134 flat. A stakes winner at a mile over the Gulfstream Turf 2 starts back. The Alan Goldberg trainee was coming off a runner-up finish in the James W. Murphy Stakes on the Preakness Day card at Pimlico. The colt was bred in Kentucky by Colts Neck Stables. Force the Pass has earned $360,000 for Richard Santulli. For all your insurance needs, a specialist at Jerry Parks Insurance Group is there to assist you with 40 years of exceptional coverage. Look for Jerry Parks, John Cassie, or Kelly Weeks at the 2-year-old sales. Coming up, a rising California turf star.
Goes 140 at 130, 40. If you get 40, if you get 140, if you get 130. Down over the down 87, 90 down, down over the down 90 grand bay. 890 pounds and down over the down 90. 85 on a minute, now 85, what do you thinking? 5 here. 85 pounds and down over the down 5 on the minute.
Capitol Hill is no place for the faint-hearted, but you can rest easy. The NTRA's legislative team is there for you every day. The NTRA's strategy in Washington is straightforward, really. The team educates members of Congress about horse racing's economics and needs, advocates for federal legislation important to the industry, communicates its legislative developments to stakeholders like you. The NTRA funds this effort through what we call the 1/4% Checkoff Program. Did you know that over 700 of your peers from 42 states and 10 countries participate in the program each year? You can too. Contribute to the 1/4% Checkoff Program at all major sales. It's easy. When selling, check the box on your sale entry form. When buying, include the designated contribution amount on your invoice. Whatever your role is in horse racing, the industry needs your support today in Washington.
After finishing a disappointing 8th in her first start, Groupie Doll would rebound just 2 weeks later to impressively break her maiden. She would go on to become one of the best sprinters of her generation, earning back-to-back Eclipse Awards. After selling for $3.1 million at the Keeneland November sale, everyone believed her racing career was over. But Groupie Doll would return and add another graded stakes victory to her impressive resume. OCD Pellets. Build stronger bone and build your success story.
Old Colony provides the best coverage with the best service at the best rates, insuring many of the finest farms and horses in the country at discounted rates for over 50 years. Let Old Colony provide insurance quotations from one of its nearly 20 different markets that will compete for your business. Old Colony Insurance, serving the horse industry with strength and stability at great rates for over 50 years. For more information, visit us online at oldcolonyinsurance.com.
Here comes Blame! Blame has won it ahead! A photo finish that Blame got!
6 graded stakes wins, 3 Grade 1 victories, 9 consecutive 100-plus buyers. And now, Blame has sired graded stakes quality from his first crop. His first runners are stars at tracks across the country.
It's far from over with a terrific performance!
Eclipse champion Blame at Claiborne Farm.
Time now for the feature race of the week presented by Keeneland, investing in racing's future since 1936. To Santa Anita for the Grade 1 American Oaks. Spanish Queen, the 3-5 favorite. Here's the call by Trevor Denman.
Field sent on their way. Feathered hopped out smartly, but they're all just about lining up here. Here comes Spanish Queen on the inside, and Spanish Queen going to go up to make her own pace. Dancing Lady Luck in the white cap races right behind them. Mrs. McDougall, light blue cap in the center. Just in behind those two comes Charlotte Ray, and at the back is Consumer Credit, but they really tightly bunched. 3 lengths would cover them all. Through the stretch first time round and feathered along the inside, a narrow advantage. Mrs. McDougall outside of that as Spanish Queen content to sit there in third now. Just on the outside is Charlotte Ray. Dating Lady Luck races between them. Consumer Credit the trailer, but still no more than 4 lengths would cover the lot. They head to the 3/4 pole now, and still the same pacemaker out here. It's feathered going on, leads it by 3 parts of a length. Mrs. McDougall is right there in second, and Spanish Queen scrapes pain third. Only 2 lengths separates the first 3. Far side is Charlotte Ray. Dating Lady Luck has the white cap, and still Consumer Credit, just been patiently ridden at the back, gives them 4 lengths start. No change in the order. All riders happy with their position. They make their way to the half-mile pole. Feathered continues to lead it. Mrs. McDougall is right there on the far side. Spanish Queen just loping along third, waiting for room. On the far side is Charlotte Ray. Now Consumer Credit getting a little closer, no more than 3.5 off them, and then Dating Lady Luck. They are coming to the top of the lane now. They've turned the pressure on. Feathered continues to lead it. Mrs. McDougall breathes down her neck in second. And Spanish Queen now, where's she going to go? She's going to hook to the outside. And Spanish Queen in the red cap now comes to tackle them down the grandstand side. Consumer Credit behind that. They are homeward bound now. Spanish Queen on the outside. Mrs. McDougall between them. Feathered at the rail. 3 in a straight line. And now Consumer Credit's hooking out with a late run. A 16 to go. And Spanish Queen grabs the lead. Spanish Queen striding home tenaciously, and the class of Spanish Queen has pulled her through. She's won it.
Odds-on favorite Spanish Queen runs by Feathered to score by 3/4 of a length. Brice Blanc aboard in 2:01 and 4. Spanish Queen improves her record to 3 wins and 1 second in 4 starts. The Richard Baltus trainee was coming off a victory in the Grade 3 Honeymoon Stakes. The filly by Tribal Rule was bred in California by her owners Harry Badarian, Aru Kembarian, and Jack Nakashian. Spanish Queen has earned $423,000. We'll have American Pharaoh's quest for the Triple Crown next week here on Thoroughbred Week.
Thoroughbred Week is presented by the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association and the Florida Department of Agriculture. Online at tbredweek.com.